Hey guys, Allison here. Well, today I want to talk about communication. We're living in very contentious times. A lot of families are at odds, especially as the holidays approach. It can be really, really stressful. So I want to outline for you a few principles about good communication. So often our communication is really lacking, or, we say things and people misinterpret them. That happens a lot, particularly when texting. That can be a really deadly way to communicate. So that's like your first hint. Be very careful what you say and what means you're using to say it. So if you're texting, we tend to throw those off when we're really in a hurry or we just want to get something out, and they can easily be misinterpreted, all right? Somebody who's reading it is putting their own emphasis on what you said. So if you say, well, I never said that I was coming to the party, then it could be like, well, I never said I was coming to the party. I never said I was coming to the party. So whoever's reading it is putting their own spin on it. There's a famous line, I never said you could kiss her. 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 So do you see how in a text it can be very, very dangerous? So if, especially with a family member or somebody close to you, or anybody really, if you're trying to communicate, be very wary of using texts. First principle of communication is this: listen. Listen. What are they saying? Ask questions. Help me to understand what you mean. You just said something. I don't really understand where you're coming from. Help me to understand that. Or what were you experiencing in this? Or you seem really, really upset. Help me to understand what I may have done or what it was that really upset you. So the first principle of listening and asking legitimate questions, number one, puts the other person at ease that you're really willing to listen to them. And that's what's going to open them up to actually communicating with you. Most of us in the heat of the moment don't really think this way. So one thing you can do when you're really heated, and this happens with family members, especially with our kids or something, to say, listen, right now I'm really upset and I know you are also. Can we table this and come back in an hour and discuss it? Or maybe tomorrow we can find time to discuss this. The other person might still be going at you. And if you know it's not a good thing, say, listen, I know you're upset. I appreciate you're upset, but I need to take a break. I need to pull away because I don't want to say things that I'm going to regret. And if necessary, you may need to just end it there if they keep going after you. The other thing is to really stop and think about what their answers are. It's not for us to judge what they're saying, but to try to understand it. We may think they're totally wrong. We may think what they said is absolutely ridiculous, but we need to listen to it and try to understand where that's coming from. And, praying to the Holy Spirit, asking our guardian angels to assist us also can be really, really helpful. When you do want to communicate, instead of making you statements like you did this and you did that and you're wrong, to say I statements like, hey, when you said this, I felt this way, or I thought that this is what happened, and then be able to listen. So I statements versus you statements. We don't want to put people on the defensive. We want to listen and be open. Doesn't mean that we're going to just go along with anything they say. But again, what are they saying? Try to listen to that and only state your own feelings and your own perspective, right? You don't know their perspective. You don't know other factors that might be playing in there. I think of George Bailey in It's a Wonderful Life. After the $8,000 is missing, he comes home and he's really horrible. But we all watched him grow. We all watched what he went through. So we're really pulling for him. And his wife is, she's perplexed by it, but she still had to, kind of defend the kids. So there's other factors that have nothing to do with you. So I think making the decision to not necessarily take it personally is another really important part of communication. And like I said, if you feel it's too contentious, delay. If you feel the prompting or need to write to them, writing them a letter, Don't do it right away. Write the letter right away, and I've often counseled this over the years. Write a letter that you don't intend to send. And when I say that, don't do it in an email that you might accidentally hit send. Do it on a Word document or write it out freehand and put it away. If it's not an urgent matter that needs to be addressed right away, and I don't mean emotionally urgent for you, but something like, hey, we have to settle these wedding plans or whatever it is. If there's no real deadline on it, take your time. Write it out. The first draft, get it all out there. Whatever you want to say, no censoring, right? Do not send it. Do not send it. Give yourself a day or two. Go back and read it. How can you edit this where you can take out maybe those incendiary things? Just the act of putting it all down can be very calming because you feel like, okay, I've got it recorded somewhere I'm not going to forget. You know, sometimes we have all those lines we want to throw out there and all those things we want to say and we don't want to forget. Get it all out there. Again, you're not going to send this version of it. Take your time. Keep editing it. And then when you feel that you have a final copy, run it past a trusted friend or a therapist that you may be working with. Because it may seem okay to you, but they may be able to pick up things that the other person may pick up or take negatively. Right? So there's sometimes a benefit to writing to somebody, especially if you're trying to kind of like explain your situation or your feelings. But it can also be difficult, kind of dangerous. So write it out, take your time, pray to the Holy Spirit, have somebody neutral evaluate it, help you to edit it down. All right. Also, another part of communication is our facial expressions. Can you smile at them? Can you be loving toward them even when you're upset? I mean, there are people out there who do not have a poker face. You know every feeling that they have. If that's you, know it and maybe kind of remove yourself from the situation or try to be aware of it. But again, the most important part of communication is listening. We want to bridge the gaps and we want to start healing some of the divisions in our family. Click the link below. There's a new course coming out that I am putting together, Finding Peace in a Divided Family. And let me tell you, I got you covered. I got a lot of good information in there that no matter what happens in your family, I want you to find peace and not be so distressed. Ultimately, God is in control. We have to wait on His timing, but we can learn a lot of skills and principles. So make sure you click the link below. God bless you.